This is Good Earners reviewing The Sopranos. I am Maurice Hunt.
And I am Spike Lou.
Yes, sir. And we are back again. And if y'all new here, then welcome. If you're not new here, y'all know how we give it up. But just in case, we talk about family, finessing, finances, and feelings in the world of Tony Soprano. We bring a new perspective, a fly perspective. Oh, and how could we forget a black perspective? AKA, we the black friends you wish you had. What are we reviewing today, Spike, man?
This is episode 9.
Yeah.
Boca. In this episode, man, the feds are getting closer. So Uncle June going to hook up with his sneaky link down in Boca, man. In the meantime, the soccer team is trying to get it done, but they got a shady character and coach. What will Tony do when he finds out about it? And Artie, maybe, well, I don't want to say that. Artie, really strong presence in this episode. Does he have what it takes to sway Tony from doing the wrong thing? This is episode 9 of Good Earners, Boca, Soprano style. Let's get it, Bo.
Yeah, we are
getting close to the end. It ain't those 10 episode seasons like we're used to now. These are a little bit longer. I forgot that it was more than 10 episodes, but we locked in.
Yeah.
We're finna get this thing done. This one is Boca. It starts out, man. The guys who knew that they loved female soccer. They're at the high school game.
Well, hold on.
Cheering on. Okay.
You forgetting the funeral scene.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Livia, sorry.
I know.
We start with Junior and Livia visiting Johnny's grave and Anthony out there telling god-awful jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take anything away from this scene, the push that Livia was trying to put for Tony about seeing a psychiatrist, really planting that seed in Junior's head? Is that what you got from this?
Yeah, of course. I mean, definitely that. But I mean, I can't. I seen a post on IG recently. They had who was the more like annoying character between Janice or AJ. And I know we haven't, met Janice according to our episodic release of reviewing The Sopranos Good Earners. But when I talk about my level of disdain, Livia's number one. You have no idea what it's like to be number one. So everything just from this point, when she reveals to Junior, like I am like, oh, like how you feel about the dreams is how I feel about Livia. Like I'm like, oh man, like
to this point,
she's
or
killing
of all time.
Of all time, like
no,
she's
your all-time least favorite character.
Yeah, absolutely, because she's just a negative, nagging Nancy, and no pun intended, because I believe that's her real name in real life. Rest in peace. But as far as this scene, I believe Junior said nobody gets down here, and I kind of thought that was kind of a funny Easter egg to a later reveal. But I thought something that stood out to me as well is it's very interesting how Junior's connection with AJ is. We had that scene at the at the dinner table where he was talking about how his, Tony was as a boy. And, Tony talked about how his Uncle Junior used to throw the baseball with him. And then even here, like he's letting him get his jokes off, letting him play around versus Livia nagging and doing the most. I think it's something interesting to me. It almost makes me wonder, and I got a later question down the road, but it makes me wonder why Junior never had kids. That is like a big thing. And anybody listening,
he couldn't get no bitches.
I don't think that, though.
That was definitely it.
How?
That was what I got from later on down the line when we talked to the chick that said he was a stalker. Livia kind of hinted at that. Women, he gives women the creeps. No woman speaks highly of Junior throughout the whole series, except for this. This is the lone episode where you get a woman that speaks highly of Corrado Soprano. So
wow.
I just think he didn't have no bitches.
He ain't had game. Yeah. I mean, or you think it's that lack of masculinity?
Junior,
maybe?
Though. Yeah, like Junior's like, what's I'm not a woman, but I'm sure they don't want to deal.
I mean,
with
I'm
just saying.
Okay.
He's not even the type of person, if he wasn't a mob, that you as a man would want to be around. So imagine, like you're saying, the lack of masculinity for a woman, and like just Junior's just like, ugh. That's what I feel like ladies would say about him. Ugh, like, get away from me, creep.
I
You
did.
know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I mean, because if you go back to Many Saints, I don't know. I think he might have some social awkwardness. You know what I mean? I can imagine that. But there's a scene later on in a hospital scene with Junior where that it was a cover up. Y'all find that out later. It's not a big spoiler here, but he was being real smooth with the little black lady. I don't know if you remember. She was like, all right, Corrado,
See,
Soprano.
I can't get into that to my point on that, but because it'll spoil some stuff. But
Okay.
that even more so, that
Oh, I
interaction
know.
goes to show that
Okay,
he's a
right,
creep.
right,
Like,
right.
he wasn't even reading
Because
that
of
wrong.
because of
Yeah,
the. Oh, you're right. Because
nigga's
it.
fucking. He's a creep. Junior's a creep.
Oh
That's
my
why he don't got
gosh,
kids,
man, we
man.
can't do Junior
Yeah,
like
Junior's
that
a creep.
though.
Junior's a flat out creep, man.
Dang, man.
That's a fact, man.
All
So,
right. Oh, but one
anything
last.
else from that conversation? Did you any big takeaways from that scene?
Oh, just one hot take here. Hot take theory land. I know we live here sometimes. I think if Junior had kids, he would have been a better father than Johnny.
I don't. I think
Why?
because he's on the spectrum, like you said, he ain't even all there. That dude, he can't
Who?
even.
Junior?
Junior don't probably. Yeah, he don't. I'm not a fan of Junior like that to
But
want
but
him
but
to
I
have
but,
offspring
okay.
or
Well, we can move
family.
on. But here's why I think he would, because I think that's something he understands. He excels and does well at. I think that is the one area. Like maybe he not good
Family?
with. Well, I feel like because the role he played in Tony's life, I feel like that's Tony for all that transpires, and still Tony comes back. That means he's left an everlasting impression on him.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Man,
Even late. No, think about it, because even later on with
you
Carmela,
speaking highly of Junior, bro.
I'm not speaking highly. I'm just saying, like, when we talk about one area, because a lot of people got a lot of us got terrible traits in a lot of spaces, but then there's those certain spaces where it's like, yeah, but there's this thing. I think that Junior would excel as a father. I don't think because the child, the young boy or girl has to adore him, and by that he will come off like a genius. He'll come off like whatever. Versus him running a mob family, he don't halfway know what he doing. You see what I'm saying? Like I feel like naturally that's I
just
honestly think he
disagree.
would.
I just disagree because the frame of reference that I use, I think I understand what you're saying. He's more compassionate. He's like a loving guy with a normal, regular family. He would probably be a better, just overall person, or be more efficient as a
Okay.
father rather than a
Yeah.
mob boss. I get what you're saying there. I just don't agree with it. I don't think throughout any point in time of the character that we got a Junior Soprano with this or Many Saints of Newark, he has no competency for me as like anyone that I would trust as a loving human being to raise kids or anything. I don't see that from him. I just see like, and I guess because we both have the full context of the show, and I'm weighing more of the end heavily than now, but he just seems like a fuck up. Like just a fuck up to me.
Okay. So, fair enough.
With that being said, young athletic Meadow is on the soccer circuit, turning the junior varsity or varsity team in the high school. They're out there putting work in. The whole crew is heavily invested in this.
Oh man,
which I'm surprised by. Seal shows his ass out there as the helicopter parent going on the ref. Was this refreshing for you, seeing this family aspect from everybody?
I love this stuff, bro. I love this, like, cause it's this was golden. Like this is, I gotta say, man, season 1 cooked, man. We ain't done yet, but like we'll get to our end of the season review, but they cooked because they really developed a lot. But this scene, of course, I love this family support moment here. I think it's an interesting dynamic of the hope Tony had for Meadow versus AJ. It's this, you see what I'm saying? Because he's proud that she's active in playing sports, but then he says AJ is a couch potato. He's younger. I mean, what is he? What, a couple years younger than Meadow? So I think that's an interesting thing, the level of support. I don't know if AJ ever got this level of support or this type of push. Now, I don't know
when he played football, remember? Tony
Okay.
was into that.
Okay. Well,
Tony was into him playing football.
Right. We get that. We get that meme that we see all the time. Yeah, with the yeah. So we did get that. You're right. I stand corrected. But I thought that was very interesting. I thought also that was really interesting that I don't know if I caught this before, that Artie and Charmaine have a daughter.
Yeah, that was a one and done. This is maybe the only episode
Yeah,
that their daughters ever mentioned
yeah.
that I remember. Yeah,
Kiara Buko.
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, you're right. That was a good catch because that never again was that daughter mentioned.
Yeah, I don't even know if they pointed out which one was his daughter.
Which is one of the problems I really had with this episode. I feel like this episode was a lot to do about nothing. Like we add this little
Really?
coach thing, this like you just pointed out the Phantom Buko daughter, like the whole shit
The
in Boca. Like,
Phantom Buko.
yeah, like all of
daughter?
this shit. Like that's why I
Phantom.
said a little bit about it in the beginning. Like now that we have 10 episode seasons, you go back and look at some of this stuff and you realize where the fluff is at. This is fluff. Like they could have told us what they told us in this episode in like 3-4 minutes in other episodes, and we could have just cut out a whole show for the season. But we got to be in the Sopranos world longer with this episode. So I get it, but it just wasn't really a progressive thing in this episode.
Well, I think also what is happening is David Chase is laying a blueprint on the reality of how life actually works. Sometimes
the mundaneness
of it, like it's like
sometimes it ain't no mafia stuff. Yeah,
that's why we get so immersed in it, because it's like, what is this? What are you doing? This is boring. What are y'all doing? We watching them play soccer, Meadow catching the ball, like they don't look athletic, or because this is how it is. A Meadow doing the recital, singing, like this is literally like how. That's why when we get into Sopranos, I love it so much, because you get to kind of immerse yourself in the world of Jersey. So yeah, I get, as far as from a progressive production standpoint of a high value best show of all time standpoint, yeah, I understand that. But at the same time, I think that he lays so much out here for this first season. I can go wherever I want after this.
I suppose. Anything else from the game?
Allie, I think Allie, she killed that last play. Like she was coasting the whole time until that last little play. She started getting a little AI on.
She got that little look.
Yeah,
the little flirtatious look happening. I never even noticed that until now.
See, it's so different.
I thought they just hit us on there. Yeah, but that's gross, really gross from that guy.
Don't reveal that yet, though.
Yeah, really.
That was
gross. The look was even
that was
gross.
coach
even before
motive.
You know something happened. Like, nah, like, bruh, if that was my daughter and I caught a glimpse of that look, I wanted, what the fuck y'all got going on? Yeah. But that's just me again having more information than we have to this point. From there, we see Junior, man. He's set up in a lawyer's office.
I'm sorry, bro. It last thing.
I'm sorry. Don't. Yeah.
There's this conversation that happens like towards the end of this. Tony's talking to Artie. Artie is kind of going through it. I don't know if it's real or not, but he's working at a place called Dimples.
Yep.
And so I didn't realize there was like a lapse in that process of his Vesuvio's getting burned down. So Tony trying to put him out in the streets, give him some work. I thought this was really interesting, because I imagine Tony has always tried to do this, even when they grew up in high school. Go back to Many Saints, they were on similar paths, and then Tony obviously took the route he took versus Artie, and we're going to see that theme kind of reoccur throughout the series, but even in this episode. So I thought that was very interesting. Like, but Artie, I did want to ask you, Artie saying, "I'm an artist. I'm not good at math." Do you think he was just trying to find a reason to say, "Nah, I'm good, Tony," or do you think that's his reality? Like, bro, I really can't do that type of, like, the thing that, because Tony laid out a plan for Artie to say, "Hey, look, I get you out in the streets. I can get you set up for this. I can get you a play here." But he said, "I'm an artist. I'm not good with numbers." Do you think that was a cop out, or you think he really ain't good with numbers?
No, that was absolutely a cop out. He doesn't want. He likes where he is in that lifestyle with Tony, like a moth to the flame. I can fly close enough to where I don't get burnt, see what's going on here with you. And you spoke to David Chase's brilliance. He did a great job building off of that conversation, showing you throughout the episode till we see the end when Artie making the decision for Tony. Artie's not like these guys. Artie is just from that world. Like, I'm from the neighborhood, but I ain't no street dude. There's a difference. Like, people get it switched up.
Yeah. So, like a Kendrick Lamar type dude.
Absolutely. Perfect example.
And lastly, well, of course, we know
you got a lot out of this scene.
Yeah, bro. It's like, cause I can
Go ahead.
Some stuff is like it doesn't necessarily
It's
change
subtle.
Yeah, the subtleties of it. I thought it was funny, of course, the seal thing, the kicking up the grass, like whatever. Like, but
That
the
was great.
last thing, we're literally going to the next thing. The last thing it said is "Good job, girls." Then it cuts to the bottom B with women with their chest out, bro. Talk about like just
Great cut,
detailed. Yeah.
Facts. Like you said, we go to the bada bing. The guys invite the coach out. Come have a good time. Your man's that was following Melfi comes in, tells Tony it's a rat in the building somewhere, starts to lay the groundwork for us to start looking out for a snitch and why the indictments came anyway.
Mm-hmm.
End of the scene, Charmaine's god awful.
Oh, she's up there.
Person.
She's up there.
Wouldn't even let her husband enjoy himself. Called the strip club. This wasn't a page.
Yeah.
This wasn't a cell phone. This was, I know the number to where you are. I'm gonna call, ask to speak to you. That is fucking insane to me, man.
Nuts.
As a guy who used to call my mom's job and do this. Crazy what we used to do back in the day.
Well, that's our only option. We had cell phones.
We didn't even want shit though. Now that I know, like I used to call my mom and be like, "What time you get off?
Oh,
y'all
man.
got some,
that was
got some
cool,
cookies
though.
you gonna bring?" Yeah, it was, but I could see her frustration with it. Now, like, nigga, what? I'm working. What do you want?
That's
yeah, like just right here with Artie, I'm kicking it, baby. What do you need? Like, why are you out painting the deck and shit anyway?
Yeah.
Just wait till I get there. It's crazy. What'd you take from this scene, Mo?
I took a few things. For one, I wanted to ask: do you think that Charmaine was cool with him going? But I'm not gonna. Okay. Do you think
she ain't cool with shit, man?
Okay.
She one of those like.
I can't wait till we get to that.
She's Livia.
Yeah. They could have brought her back. And then I wanted to ask, not to give a big reveal here or whatever. Like, do you think the coach wasn't interested in the Bing girls, or the other thing that's revealed
I didn't
later?
even think about that. That may be it. That may be absolutely it, actually.
So you think he wasn't interested genuinely, or the reveal later?
Probably wasn't his style. Yeah.
Okay, wasn't his style.
He liked him a little younger.
Yeah, Macasian. He tells Tony, Mikey has
Macasian. That's his name.
Yeah, Macasian. Yeah, he says Mikey has a major private investigator, and he thinks someone is a rat. I thought this was interesting too.
Is that what he said? Oh, he was telling him that it was Mikey following him. I didn't.
Yeah, well, no, he said Mikey hired a major, investigator.
Yeah, because Mikey was talking about it later. Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, also, I guess I did get a lot of little tidbits. Do you? Oh, never mind. But I was going to ask you. Do you think Junior's call to have somebody spy on Tony's therapy sessions? But I think this was an independent call from Mikey. So, but I don't know. I mean,
yeah, they said it was independent. Junior asked him when they were pulling up to the golf course, "Who told you to tell my nephew?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Junior definitely pointed that out to him. All right, from there, you had something else?
I did just a little sidebar. If Artie was in the mob, do you think Charmaine would still act like that?
No.
Okay.
Because he would have like probably more cachet, more swag, more balls to tell her to shut the fuck up.
Do you connect with Artie though? Like we talk about the regular guy on our other podcast, Shameless Plug, Another Week in the Books. Do you look at him like the regular guy, or you look at him like a sucker?
No, Artie's not a sucker, I don't think.
Okay.
Not yet. he develops into, he has some sucker tendencies. But right now, I grew up in the neighborhood. I ain't take the path that y'all took. I love to cook. I don't think that makes him a sucker because he doesn't want to participate in what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I respect him doing his own thing because it could have been easier for him to do that. I don't respect how he let Charmaine treat him.
Yeah.
Like you said, in effect to that. But yeah, I do respect the decision that he's being his own self 100%.
And lastly, I think I like the subtlety of like we talk about the coach thing, but like they were about to set him up like, hey, yo, we got the VIP, yo, we can set you up. He was like, nah, I'm good. And even even Artie was like, "Hey, we just came here for drinks and stuff." I've been that friend before, where it's like, "Hey, look, don't get somebody jammed up. You got the boys that are like hot out there. You know what? They can get you hooked up, but you're like, yo, let's chill, 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 chill." So I thought that
Really,
was
you've
cool.
been that guy?
Absolutely.
Jesus.
And
I
I mean,
can see that.
but not on like a loud tip, but just like on like, hey, bro, look, come on,
But
dog.
did he blow you off? Like, nigga, get out of
I
my
mean, if they
face.
do that, all right, bro, do you? You know what I mean? Like, go
At
do
least
your
you
thing.
tried. That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
you
You
know
ain't
what I mean?
going, okay.
Yeah.
At least you're not like going down with the ship, like, bro, no, don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah.
You just offer, hey, man, I can offer you some advice, and then I leave you to figure out what you need to. I respect that. That ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, just a little, you know.
All right. From there, Junior is in full recon mode, man. He got the offices set up in his lawyer's office. He's learning more about the indictment, has a language with the letter that the lawyer writes. Not a lot going on here other than showing the pressure that Junior's under right now. What'd you get, Mo?
I just think Junior is just, it's that weird thing that all of them get caught up in. It's the idea of the thing versus the actual thing, and it's like he's sitting here, he's leaned back into the attorney's chair, pants up, relaxed, like this is a part of the. I'm supposed to go to prison.
What
like
we do.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like there ain't no honor in that. Like you can't. You know what I mean? You can't get your envelopes for real. Like you just chilling. Like I'm like, I don't know. He just way too relaxed. He's on it, but at the same time, he's just too relaxed in his demeanor. And that's pretty much all that I got from it.
Now, that's what I will differ from you on. And I know this and we're not debating here, but that what you pointed out about Junior and his strong attributes towards family. What I will say as far as strong attributes that I think he has the stomach for this.
Okay.
Like Junior throughout the whole series, even here, like you're saying, he's like, okay, this is what we do. Make sure the literature is right. I don't want to look like a snitch. Like even with Tony's semi-nervous. You don't really know how to handle this. Junior is like, okay, like fuck it. If I go to jail, I'm going to jail. I'm gonna pay my lawyer good money. Like Junior is like entrenched in this, and it's probably because he's a lot older. Yeah. Doesn't have the family, like you say, a lot less to lose if he does go to jail. So that is one thing that throughout the series, he's entrenched in the lifestyle. Like he's entrenched in it. Yeah. 100%. This is what Junior do.
Yeah, that's what Junior. I did want to ask though that he says I pay you $4 an hour. Is that 4,000 or 400?
But that type of lawyer on an indictment case, Junior Soprano, that got to be 4,000. It has to be
4,000. So he probably keeping it short. Because I mean, we know later on
he probably paying him for the whole day though.
Well, Junior just made a come up off of
Junior got
Hesh.
money though.
He just made the money off of Hesh, so he's pretty set up, and Junior's pretty frugal. So you know,
plus his old money, like they would refer to that a lot. Like he got money around the house just buried and shit from all the time he been in the game. So Junior is well off. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, he's modest, so he can afford it. But I'm my thought process was 4,000 an hour dealing with a federal indictment of mafia. Yeah, absolutely. I get right. Crime, criminal, being a criminal is expensive.
Boy. Lastly, the bathroom scene. Oh man, I wanted to speak to does Junior actually respect Mikey, because after he used the bathroom, he proceeds to call him boy, and taps him on the face. He didn't even wash his hands.
With the pissy hands.
With his pissy hands,
his old little shriveled keep in touch.
Golly, bro. Us in 2023 are looking crazy right now at that.
Man, he would have got knocked out with his old ass touching somebody's face after he just got through pissing like that. But I do think that he fuck with Mikey, though, because Mikey is what he said, a good boy. He's a good follower. He's not a leader. He don't really show him the respect as an equal, but you do what I say, you do it well. Good job, little boy. This is what
little boy. Trying to play.
But yeah.
All right.
Little boy. Exactly. All right. So from there, in that bathroom scene, he did try to, that's when he let him know like something may be going on with Tony, right?
Yeah.
He tried to
he was like, I don't trust this guy. Like he keep kind of, it's this weird thing too that Mike
very adamant that something was going on.
Well, very adamant.
What's that?
I don't know. I don't know if it's the actor's choice, but it's this weird thing he does where it's like he always sounds like he's about to get loud, but he whispers it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's like he'd be like, I'm telling you, it's something with this freaking guy, man. Like you said, he wants to yell, but he's always whispering. So I don't know if it's the choice he went
Italian
with.
trope. Yeah, I think that's a trope.
Well, normally they be loud though.
But they act like they whispering, like you're getting close on you. Like Tony do that. You know what I'm saying? He act like he whispering, but he be loud. So yes, I do notice what you're saying though.
Okay.
From there, Meadow is out with the team. She's getting drunk.
40s.
They see, they're drinking beer. That's crazy. And they see Cassie. Is that her name? Allie. That's her name.
Allie, yes.
Yeah, they see Allie, and she tries to cut her wrist out there. And that's I didn't want any of this. I didn't want to see any of this. I wasn't interested in it. I didn't want to know what happened. I wish that this did not make its way into my favorite show, but it did.
All right, for those people that have a heart, this was very this was very heavy. I mean, definitely very soap opera-ish. Allie, what are you doing?
Roll my eyes. I definitely roll my eyes. Like,
why? This, you know what? This goes into what we've talked about on the other show. But like, kind of like, man, like this is really heavy. This is literally a teenager dealing with some trauma that don't know how to. This is 99, so you don't have the resources or even the conversations to find an outlet to deal with this trauma that you're actually going through. So you take it into your own hands, and the pain hurts so much that you feel the need to cut. So it's as much as I know you roll your eyes at it, but it is like a heavy thing right here because it's like this is pretty extreme. Like, you know what I mean? But I made a meme this week. I thought it was funny. I called it Meadows Creek, kind of like tying it in from Dawson's Creek.
Creek.
It was pretty funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, but that's.
Did you get anything else from this though?
I just thought that was heavy.
It didn't come out what was going on right there. She just tried to kill herself, right?
Yep. Then it didn't come out like as far as what the issue was yet. Not yet. Nope.
Yeah. All right. From there, Tony goes to bounce his issues off Dr. Melfi in another one of their session. Tells Dr. Melfi about Allie. Is that what we said her name was? Allie, right?
Yeah, Allie.
Secondary character's name I'm never going to get right. Yeah, so he tells Dr. Melfi what goes on with Allie. She asks, was it a real attempt or was it a fake attempt? Of course, Tony's going to use this as he does later on. Tony is great for repurposing what Dr. Melfi tells him. I love that about this.
Yeah.
And he also addresses the last week when he made it rain on Dr. Melfi and called her a whore.
Oh, man.
What did you get from this? They had the Melfi legs out too. I know you were thrilled about that.
Always, man. Come on, man. Like this is a beautiful woman in her, in her, later years. You know what I'm saying? But so much funniness here, man. Like this may make it to the awards at the end, but like, I thought it was interesting. Last episode, Tony asked Chris about the suicide thing. He said, "Have you ever considered this?" And then we get kind of a call back. I'm not gonna say necessarily it's a callback. It might just be an organic development continuing, but I think
it's like it was a callback.
You think so? Okay.
I feel like they built on that. They built on that with this. I do think that.
Yeah, and maybe later down the road, because I'm when Tony, I spoke about it on our last episode, but I'm very interested to know, like, has Tony ever considered that? Has he ever felt so low, so out of pocket that he considered that? Because I still feel like that was out of nowhere. Like you went to the very, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I thought it was funny. She says a small cut is a clinical thing, and he's like, "What's a large cut?" OJ missing in the tracksuit. Bro, the black reference, dude, is hilarious, man. But yeah, it says this was Allie's second attempt, actually. That's a reveal in this therapy session. Melfi tried to get into his business, which I thought was funny. And he immediately brought it back. Like, yeah, I just want to talk about my daughter. Like, nah, let's focus here. What is Melfi trying to get at here? Why is she still riding off of the last sessions, last week's episode, where you trying to like feel good about yourself as a therapist because of what your ex-husband said, that there's evil and there's good and he's evil? Like, you think she's still trying to like grasp that or something?
Yes, I do think that that's affecting her thought process and questioning. And I also think that it alludes to what her husband was saying about how Tony is using this therapy. He's taking these sessions and he's applying it to his already thought process, the sociopathic part of it. The reason that Melfi's ex-husband called him a sociopath. That's what he's even trying to do in this situation. Okay, my daughter is going through this. What this is happening? How do I make it better for my family or fix it with this? Whatever's happening. Melfi's trying to address singularly what's going on with him. Bring it back to him. Why are you feeling this way with the stuff that's going on with you with the indictments? And Tony just, I don't want to deal with that right now. I don't want to talk about me. I want you to help me sharpen my sword to fix these problems and continue being a sociopath. So I think that session kind of leaned into the conversation that Melfi and her husband had about him. That's what I think.
Okay.
Just a callback 100%.
Okay. And I do think you were talking about what he talked about, what he did last week on Making It Rain on Melfi, but like the fact that this dude,
and calling her a whore, don't forget the whore.
This man said last week I called you a whore.
I'm sorry, I called you a whore.
I might have been overstating the case.
I might have been
a bit. Bruh, this dude is wild, dog. He ain't give.
Shout out to Melfi though for keeping her cool. Not the apology, like
because that wasn't really even
followed through it.
He said might.
It was not
overstating in a bit. So you really saying I still kind of feel that way? I'm just gonna dress it up with these words.
Because I know I made your feelings hurt.
Nuts, bro. This guy is crazy, Tony.
Only Tony fucking Soprano.
You know good day well she not a whore. Like, come on. Like, you had a dude following her, Macasian. What are you talking about, bro? Like, he wild.
That was great. I loved it.
It was good.
All right, from there, man, Junior then got little. He went to go see his little Yamin in Miami.
Yeah.
His little fling. Here go what you were looking for. Junior with the ladies, laying the game on thick. She seems to be smitten by Junior. This was surprising to me, and it's part of the reason why it's one of my least favorite episodes, because it's not believable. This woman not fucking with Junior. Again, never throughout the whole series has he had bitches. He ain't, because he's never had bitches. He's proven he's never been able to get bitches. Even in the many Saints of Newark, he couldn't get any women. So,
Well,
I don't buy it.
But I almost, and I don't want to go out. We try to stay within the world of it, but what if that's just they never wanted that to be his focus? Like, what if it's like, it's not that he wasn't
cool, how would he well, she worked for him. So that's how he pulled her. So yeah, if that wasn't his focus, that's great. But even with this, she seemed out of his league to me. Especially to be talking about this nigga.
I think her name's like Roberta. Yeah, I can see that. I can't see that.
How I see this, she don't even want nobody to know she's sleeping with you.
Nah, that ain't true though. Nah, that ain't true.
Well, yeah, because it's status.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you see these women be with rappers all the time. These dudes don't be like the dude like that. Like, got all these other things that make them look like that dude. So I think right here is one of those moments. But I did want to ask, what is this transaction between Junior and the guy that he cancels with his cousin? This guy says, "Hey, I want to talk to you." He's like, "Oh, okay, I can get with my cousin later." He had an envelope in his, his blazer. I didn't catch that transaction. I didn't.
It seemed like some union stuff that they had going on.
Yeah,
it seems to show. I think they were showing that he's continuously doing business down in Boca, even though he's away. He's still conducting business and got connections. That's what I took from it.
Are they in Boca at this
point?
The
feds were down there though. Did you see the FBI?
Yeah, that's why one black character
was in the scene.
But
yeah, I just took it that he was doing work still. I didn't know the specifics of the transaction.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, from there, Livia's having breakfast. Your man, Fresh Larry, stops through, G'd up. She compliments him on his shoes, tells Tony he needs some of them. And we realize that Tony is handling business there in the nursing home, which is the reason that the scheme is finally coming out to play. What do you think about this thing?
Again, Livia just going at the neck for no reason. Yeah, when he was little, like,
you burned down.
Like, right. It's like they're at Green Grove. Livia's playing this Jedi mind trick with Larry.
But that was literally probably like 60 years ago. Like, she brought up something from probably 60 years ago.
She's sharp. She's still sharp.
At the very least 50. Crazy.
Yeah, you're right. Because he ain't no spring chicken either.
Yeah, he ain't no young dude, man.
But like, she's like this Jedi mind trick that, Like she keeps others she likes to keep them in her memory a certain way. And I think it's very interesting because we talk about Tony wanting to be more like Johnny, his father, but he's more like Livia, where she said on I think the episode before the last, Down Neck, where she said, okay, you remember things the way you want to remember things. But that's what she does with every character. Like, that's why she stay on a negative repeat, because she remember things the way she wants to remember them.
Right. 100%.
So same thing here with
she
Larry.
Called him out for what she does. Most people hate people for what they do. Yeah, I do. They also learned in this scene that the coach may be leaving. Tony reads a newspaper article that the coach that they love at soccer may be going to another school to take a college job. He's not upset, and he's not happy with that, obviously.
Nah, well, before that part, right before the newspaper, was it out of pocket that Larry was just saying this stuff out the open? Like, oh, Tony, this was a great idea to, do our business here in Green Grove. Like, I don't know. I feel like they ain't get all the way to the wall, like, low key. Are we supposed to assume they old so they can't hear? I mean,
yeah, and it was supposed to show us how safe of a place it was, that they can talk freely there like that.
Oh, okay.
So later on, we wouldn't be wondering, like, man, why are they just talking in a nursing home like that? So they kind of laid it out there like business can be conducted here. Old people out here, nobody's suspecting a thing. We can pretty much carry ourselves freely as long as we ain't too overt with it. So I peep what you're saying, but yeah, I figured that was why. From there, Seal and Artie go out there, man, to see what the coach is talking about because he's leaving. Seal claims he can make him an offer that he won't refuse. And during this little conversation, Meadow tells the coach to go fuck himself. He handles it by giving her laps. At this point, we know something is going on. Did you give this any second thought that Meadow was giving him lip?
Well, obviously we're starting to get some touches here, but I thought it was interesting. Seal, it's this weird thing, like it's weird thing where you have a relationship with like your homeboy or your partners, like kids, to the point you like you ain't close with them where you're gonna try to like you ain't close with them where you're gonna tell them like, hey, like I'm gonna get you together, but you close enough. Like, all right, I'm gonna tell your daddy. Like, so Seal was like, hey, what's up? Like, what you doing? Because they're not catching on to what's happening. But I did want to ask you, why are they so invested here? Like, these are juniors in high school? Why are these dads so invested? Like, is that just normal? You feel like that's the normal parenting thing? Like, oh, my kid's a star. They're gonna be like, I don't know.
It's supposed to speak. I think it's supposed to speak to neighborhood, community, how close knit they are there. I think that's what they're trying to show. When you have I know if you're in that ain't a small town, but if you're in a town or a place where the high school is good, the direct vicinity, little stores around it, people like Tony that are probably popular in the neighborhood, they get a rise out of that because it's like a representation of their community. So I do understand 100% why they were that bought into it. I've seen that before, like playing playing high school football and just being associated with sports. I got it. I totally 100% get it. The fact that it was soccer kind of surprised me, but hey, I guess they get it where they can get it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know exactly what they're like.
It was too much for you being not a sports fan. It was like what the fuck is going on?
Well, no. I mean, I guess I get the investment. I mean, maybe because my experience, I guess I wasn't worth invested in that much. I wasn't that great, but I don't know. I guess I was just trying to figure out what that was, but it's just this whole thing.
I think it's trying to show their investment in the community, how heavy Tony is, and how much they're invested in everything that happens in the community.
Okay.
I think that's what they're supposed to show them.
But I do think the coach, his face, he got the itis, man. He got that Mikey itis, man.
What's that mean? What does that mean?
Face itis. Yeah, he definitely got the same, like, cause I look at it, he's squinting. I'm like, oh, you like straight douchebag. Like, yeah. He just has that face, douchey, very douchey.
100%.
Yeah.
Junior is back in Boca with his fling. They have a conversation about Junior eating butt. And
all right, bro. Don't do you. All right, man. Don't do Junior anytime. I ain't a Junior fan, but come on, he ain't doing that.
That's funny. Well, I mean, it's funny that they have a hang up about that at
Yeah,
this point in time. You literally have people online just eating butt
yeah,
just on the internet now, just in front of for everybody.
yeah,
And Junior don't want people to know that he gives head.
yeah,
This was hilarious. This is
yeah.
one of the funnier, like this whole from this point,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll talk about Carmela and Junior and Tony. But this was funny. This was
Mm-hmm.
part of what makes The Sopranos so brilliant. Is this show that has so much drama and all these god awful things that happen, but they find the time to have jokes like this and literally run them into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like it keeps coming up. It's funny. It's good every time it
Every
comes up.
time.
It was just perfect as far as like just starting it right here and planting the seed. So great job by David Chase and the
Yeah.
writers.
That's why I feel like it's the GOAT show, because a lot of shows can't have that. They don't have that level of range. Like the funny in other shows where they be dramatic, might be like oh, okay, I see what they was doing. This is like genuine, like, yo, relax, dude.
This legit like like a laugh out loud.
You're like, yo, chill out,
Yeah.
Tony. Chill out, bro. Why you going so hard over like that? But yeah, this, I thought some interesting things I pulled here. They have been coming to this spot for 16 years. That's a grip.
Weirdo. Another
That's why
reason that Junior's a fucking weirdo, Mark.
Because he should have
You ain't
made her
even got
woman.
no woman. Yeah, you ain't even got no woman, but you sneaking off with a chick like in South Florida for 13 years straight. What kind of loser are you, bro?
Yeah, okay, you kind of making a point, because it's like you treating her like a Gumar. You ain't even got a maid, bro.
Yeah. And she bad.
She probably younger than him
all the way around. Yeah,
she definitely she got that spice for real.
Weird.
So why she stick around for 16 years?
This is a win for Junior.
It's definitely a win.
The appeal. Yeah, it's the appeal. Like it's Junior Soprano. People know who he is down there. He got a clout.
He got a little clout.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. She live in some small world. She like a fucking secretary or something in his business. Yeah. Like it's just what she get from it. Because you can tell how she likes to talk about it when they talk and show it at the nail salon. So it's crazy though. Like you said, that was one of the things that stuck out to me.
You're right. He's definitely a weirdo now. Now you saying that it's like 16 years. He remembered the number. She's like, how long we been coming here? He said 16 years. Bro,
sucks. You suck, Junior.
Yeah, he do.
Make an honest woman out of it, like Mo said.
Yeah, straight up. Another funny thing, I thought it was funny. She was like, how's your junior? And he was like, I made a meme about this week too. Y'all see that, but he was like, he's catching some shut eye because going around too, which is a given. I mean, he's up there, like he's at least 60 plus. I thought it's funny the lines men come up with when the woman is a little bit ready to go again, and you might have got a good 20-minute pause in between where you're a little older. To say he's catching some shut eye. I thought that was a good line. Like, I don't know what other line dudes come up with to be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Still trying to work things out, or like, yo, I'm trying to figure it out. I just need a little moment. Or I don't know what dude be saying, but like, I thought this was hilarious, dude. Like, come on, man.
Sounds like Junior used this excuse a lot of times.
Oh yeah, but you know what's crazy? Yeah. It gave me the idea that he actually, because they always undercut Junior, his character. He actually didn't please her. So he got
until he gave her that head.
Yeah, well, yes, I'm saying. So he actually he got his, and she was cool with it because she's getting the bag. She just told him like she skimmed 25 grand off the top of their latest scheme. 25 grand. Like, come on. Yeah. So she's good with it. She's getting this lavish lifestyle. She meets with him however so often in the year, whatever. But she did it right though. She built up his ego. It's like, oh, you're such a powerhouse when you do this and that, pass me the peppers. And I think it's funny too. It's just like, this was a thing even when I was in school, probably when you was in school, like you go down on a woman. What, like this is dead on, was like, they'll look at you like a Fanuc. Like that was like, dudes like, I don't go down on no woman. Like it was just dead on to me. Dead on. Straight. It was
like 90s. That when you were in school too?
Absolutely. Until Lil Wayne made it cool. Lil Wayne, when he started making it cool, that's when I feel like it started turning the corner, bro. I never felt that way though, but for the record.
I feel like that we got finessed. Older niggas used to try to say that, but they was really in there eating.
Oh, they was really in
like Junior. Yeah, telling us, don't do that, bro. Like, he what? Because now
Facts.
that you get older, you like, man, that was like that. You lose on a lot of opportunity.
You are because you got to make it make sense, bro. You got to like look. You can't be everything all the time, so you got to use all your abilities, man. Come on, man.
Our little young dumbasses would talk the same
Straight
thing,
up.
like you said. Till Lil Wayne came, like it was like a taboo. Like you wasn't supposed
Definitely.
like, what you did? Wow,
Definitely,
no, man. Niggas. So niggas would get joked on that you heard did that and everything. So it's nuts. But so this is right in line. Every culture, maybe so.
Yeah, maybe so.
It's gotten a lot different now. Like you said, now niggas is online eating booty.
Oh, they loud
on Twitter. Like,
I mean, what Nori got to do called the Eddie the butt eater or whatever his name is?
Probably so.
Some dude,
like
some background dude,
shit,
But I did want to say lastly, she almost talked her. She about to talk herself out of the pleasure, bro. Like, let's talk about it. Why is it a problem? Like, yo, you didn't get pleased, and he was willing to do it. Pass me the peppers. She about to talk her way out of. Like, come on, like, shut up. Let him do
for you though.
But I mean, I do still go through it. But if it was the other way around, dude to talk himself out of the pennies, like you talking too much.
Yeah, so a man and a woman, 100%. I agree with you. All right. From there, did you have anything else?
That was it. Yeah.
Okay. We go to Artie and Tony talking over dinner about the coach leaving, what they may do. Guy sitting in the restaurant with the hat on irritates the shit out of Artie. He doesn't do anything. He gets to live vicariously through Tony. And we kind of get to see what you asked me about earlier. Like, Artie loves this. He wished that would be him.
Yes.
Like, he got so much from Tony just telling this guy to take the fucking hat off, man. Sending him a drink, and the feds over there. You can see Artie dick getting hard under the table. Like, he just loved all of this, bro. He, like, ate it up. And I think this was a great scene from the sense of, here's what a normal guy from the neighborhood does, and here's Tony fucking Soprano.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
A few things. My first thing, why was Tony pressing the issue so much for Artie to work for him? Because he brought it up again. So he brought it up at the soccer game.
Because he wants to make up for. Have they burnt the restaurant?
They did. Yeah, they did that because they didn't want to get whacked.
My shit's getting twisted up. Yeah, he's trying to make up for it. He see his homie is struggling.
Okay, because he working at Dimples.
Without me saying so much, bro. I'm trying to put you back on your feet, man. Like, come on, fuck with me. Like, I'm trying to make you right. I'm putting it in street terms here, like black people would be talking. Like, it's like if your homeboy, you may not know he did some sideways shit to get you out some money, but he want to get you back because he feel guilty about it. Like, come on, bro, I got to play for you. It's gonna work out perfectly. Trust me, I do this shit all the time. Like, look, man, let me get you right. You shouldn't be here fucking washing dishes at this nigga restaurant. Let's build your shit up.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Tony asked about Artie's wife, Charmaine. Why does she not like him?
Why she hate him?
She hate him. Do you think Artie knows about what that summer that she brought up to Carmela about them sleeping together over that summer? You think Artie knows?
That's a good question. I don't know if Charmaine has played that card yet. She probably holding that on the tuck when she ready to leave. Artie.
Yeah, she definitely holding that on tuck.
Yeah, right. I don't think she played that card yet.
Okay.
Artie probably couldn't get over that. He'll be fucking crushed.
Yeah, he definitely would.
Yeah, he'll be crushed. I don't think she played that on Artie yet. What'd you think about the interaction with the guy with the hat?
Funny, bro. You know what got me? I'm looking at dude. I'm with Tony. We talk about the creators doing such a great job at having us to be on Tony's side because he's our hero, but he's the anti-hero. Tony, like the acting from James Gandolfini, he's literally, as they keep cutting to him, he looks like he's getting madder. Like, I don't know, he's standing still with his hands crossed, but he looks like he's getting madder at this dude. And I don't understand.
Yeah, you can see it building up.
And I don't understand why this dude is in here with this ball cap. And it's like, it's fine dining. And then on top of that, bro, you got a nice head of hair. Like, that's what really threw me more than anything. In my head, my little technical thinking, bro, you have like Maxim hair. And what are you doing? Like, take your hat off. There's a B on your hat.
Another good plug for another week in the books. We talk about this sometimes with the personality. And Dr. Melfi asked him this, and I feel the same way. Why do you feel like that you have to police everything, Tony Soprano? It's not your fucking world, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I get what you're saying 100%. And I don't agree with you. However, I do see your perspective, and I kind of understand, like you said, it's fine dining, why you got your hat on him. But still, my question would be like Melfi's was, as we'll talk about later, why is it on you to police this shit? Why do you have the overwhelming urge where you the one that got to be like, hey, take your hat off? It's not your restaurant. You're not going to get anything from this. Why do you put yourself in those positions where you have to be the person of authority? You know how I feel about authority, Mo.
Oh yeah.
So you know how I felt about this.
No,
get the fuck out of here. Because
I'm with you.
It's my hat.
No, I'm with you. Like, I don't agree. That's none of your business. Like, I'm with you on it. I'm just saying from a general standpoint, it ain't Tony's job. I thought he's even interesting that the waiters was like, thank you. Like, yeah, I didn't say nothing to this dude. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe the white privilege is going crazy right there. I don't know. But I like how Tony's such a smooth cat. Yeah, you're right. It's none of his business, and it poses a great question later with Melfi, and I can't wait till we get to that point. But I thought it was smooth. He said Tony sends wine over there. He gets the waiters to get the license plate, the license plate numbers. Yeah,
not his numbers. No, not his numbers though.
No,
like somebody else's number.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The people that felt like he's like, make sure that, you know. So he pulls off the trifecta. He got the dude take the hat off. He sent wine over there, and he got the waiters to go get those license plate numbers. And I thought it was funny how Artie started acting all nervous, like he's a part of some kind of scam here, because he overheard Tony saying that. He's looking around, all grabbing his shirt and stuff, looking back like, man, bro, relax.
Artie
dude
was proud though. This is like
he kind of was. He was like, yo,
I'm in the game. I'm in the mix. Yeah, like I was here when a play went down. I guess this whole.
I've been there. I never been the dude like that. Like, I had a scenario. I may talk about it on our other show, but I had a scenario. I'm like, they were like, yo, one dude was like, man, I live for this. I was like, I don't. Get me out of here, quick, bruh. Straight up.
I could definitely see you saying that.
Yeah, like, boy. I was Trey from Boys in the Hood. Like let me out the car.
Hey,
let
me out.
Straight up.
Let me out.
Boy. No cap.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't want nobody to think that I think nothing wrong with that, because it definitely is not, bro.
Yeah.
I think that. All right. From there, man, we go to Meadow and Allie. They're watching videos in there. She lets them know, well, Meadow wants to quit. And this is right before this. It didn't come out in this scene what was going on, right? It was just her telling him that they weren't happy with the situation of the coaching. So they planting the seed of something's happening. We don't know what yet. What did you take from this?
I thought it was very interesting how awkward it was, but it wasn't anything to do with the big reveal. Like, it was just awkward just from staying on the team, quitting standpoint, and nothing else. So I thought that was like, again, we talk about the regularness, mundaneness, just great stuff. That was all I really took from it. But yeah, I mean, it's good to see Allie, you know, got her wrist wrapped up, and she's, you know, hopefully amongst people that are trying to support her. So, yeah, that was it. Small scene.
All right. Next, we go to Junior the Munch Soprano.
Yeah. Mr. Red Peppers.
Do you know? You familiar with the new term munch, right?
Yeah, I made a meme on it. I called him power. He's a powerhouse munch. Powerhouse munch. She called him a powerhouse.
Junior the Munch Soprano. That's munch. Funny. Yes, Junior the Munch Soprano. He's dancing with his sneaky link. She teases him about it. The FBI's in the cut over there.
Yeah, he is.
Letting you know that they follow him down there at Boca. What'd you get from this, Mo?
Junior, you ain't got no kind of smooth. Like, what are we doing? I Junior just like
weirdo.
I do. Mr. Magoo. Weirdo, Mr. Magoo will find out
Mr.
later.
Fucking Magoo.
But I mean, Mr. Munch over here. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're making a point here, but I just like, damn, I mean, he can't get nothing right. He even out here, like, you would think low key he out here and he still got feds on you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, this dude can't get nothing right. And like you said, it is weird. It's like he's with a sneaky link, but you don't have a main link. I just
I don't all the way to Boca to sneak around.
I'm really gonna have to watch Many Saints again. Maybe I'll catch something. I never watched it twice, so I'll have to go back to it again. But we do get, like you said, we do get the feds, and it's our black character. Ding 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 ding. Black character on this episode.
Is it? Are we sure he's black?
Yeah,
I'm getting Dominican vibes.
You getting Dominican?
Cuban, Puerto Rican, yeah.
He look dark skinned.
Like Indian, maybe.
Don't do us any kind of way. What? I mean, he sounded like us. You try to take us out the game now. Come on, look at him.
I just didn't get black from him until you
You
just
get black.
said that.
All right. Y'all chime in, man. goodearnerpod@gmail.com, man.
Yeah. From there, man, we go to my guy, get a Paulie sighting in this episode. Not a lot from the crew in here.
Yeah, nope.
We kind of tie them in with the coach, man, to try to get them some FaceTime on the episode. But Paulie, look like the nigga hired some bikers.
He definitely like bikers.
Them ain't made guys. Yeah, he hired some bikers to grab that TV for him. Fly jumpsuit by Paulie.
Fly.
I really like the silk jumpsuit.
Yeah.
And he got it like 3/4 of the way up, which is saying like Paulie was shitty right here. Paulie he was in his bag right here.
He was in his bag.
But yeah.
Standing all posted up with the wide leg stance.
Posted up with the wide leg, like that's the power stance. You know, from all the stuff that I've read about psychology and stuff, that stance right there is supposed to omit like power. Like when you stand that way with your legs spread wide like that, it's supposed to emit more presence. It's a known psychology
with the pull up, the Damian Lillard pull up right there, boy.
Yeah,
you wave by on him.
That's the power stance, exactly. Dame time. But they dropped the 50-inch TV off in your man's yard. Man, here's what I don't like about this episode, man. This dude, he has to know what's going on with Tony and them. Like, bro, just take the gifts and get the fuck out of town. Move in the middle of the night, bro. Like it ain't no big deal. Like what are we talking about here? I don't get why he was so upset and like so adamantly going against this shit here to this point. But then, of course, I don't want to ruin anything for the rest of the episode. But yeah.
Well, a part of it is, bro. This is black. There's this white privilege where you're so caught up in it, you're ignorant to things not working your way. I feel like. So here it's like, oh, I'll call the authorities. I'll call the cops. They'll have your ass, or they'll get you to get. Like, I think it's that lack of reality of where you're at. Like, he's like, I'm not scared of you. I'm not afraid of you. Like, he's yelling. You still don't realize the severity, like, at all. Like, if that was a black person, we know real quick, like, hey, yo, these dudes know what we. I didn't tell them where I live.
It's different right here,
especially when we get to the Christopher scene. You be like, okay, you got to start really tapping into what's going on. But I feel like he's still operating like. This nigga's a shady guy. We'll find out more about his shadiness, and he's still operating like I can't be touched. I feel like that's a privileged perspective, bro. So he's not even catching on to them, calling them Guidos, and he says, "Listen, Guido," he says, "My name is Clarence." And Clarence's parents had a real good marriage. All right, I had to get that bar off. Sorry.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
8 Mile, man. Come on. Papa died. He's like, what? His real name's Clarence, and Clarence's parents had a real good, funny little line. On that one. That's fire. That was a fire battle.
All right. All right. So now, Junior Lil Nah Mean is in there getting her feet done. Roberta, yeah. And the foot lady, what do you call those people? What is it?
That do the pedicures, the pedicure lady. That's what we'll go with that.
Whatever she is.
Sounds good.
Lady.
Let's go with that.
She wants to continue the gossip that Junior's little jump off usually has when she's in there. But Junior little jump off has gotten the message and she ain't biting. She's like, can we nip that in the bud? But it don't seem to be nipped in the bud soon enough. Anything from this scene, did you think the spillover was coming? Did you foresee that, Mo?
No, I didn't. But I did want to ask.
Where did you think this was going then? Like, why did you think this kept coming up?
Because what they wanted to show is that there's a history here. We found out in the other, so we found out in the other Boca scene with Junior and her in the bed past the red pepper scene. How long have we been doing this? 16 years. Okay. Then we come here to the pedicurist, and now she's like, hey, I told you I want to talk about that. Zip it up. So that means 16 years prior, I've been talking about Junior giving me the red pepper munch treatment. Now I want to shut it up. Why she want to shut up now versus before? Because Junior's boss now. The status has changed. So now I got more at stake. Like we said, she probably not into him like that.
He got more at stake.
Yeah, but by her being the only chick in his life, because he don't get women like that, she got to lock it down.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
You see what I'm saying? So now she look like for real, like, yo, she did the gesture like, yo, I ain't saying a word, like, yo, lock it down. But we'll bring that back.
Late.
Boy.
Too late.
too late.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I thought
That's
of that.
funny. Okay. All right. From there, the family's having dinner.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the funniest scenes in The Soprano. Carmela, excuse me, fucking perfect.
Oh man,
Like it was great.
it was so off a little bit, right?
It was so off-putting. It's just so surprising.
Mm-hmm.
They asked Junior how his trip to Boca was, and he responds, "I don't go down enough."
Yeah, bar
And
one.
Carmela whispered, "It's not what I heard."
Why?
That's the type of humor that I'm here for, bro. If I was at that table, I would fucking die. Like I love the subtle, like jab shots. That's great to me.
Yeah.
What did you get from that, man?
Yeah, no, it's like three. It's a few bars there that like that. I don't go down enough. Bobby is a sweet girl.
Sweet girl. I bet she is,
bro.
And Junior playing. He's thoroughly confused. He has no idea what's going on, and I like how Tony subtly picks up on it to ask Carmela later. But it's fucking great.
And even then, like it's. Imagine like when somebody knows something, somebody got to drop on some info with you, bro. Ah, the feeling is like, ugh, like it ain't happened in a long time now because you keep it on lock. But like being younger, like I imagine somebody got some info on you that you really didn't want to. You might have told somebody or a couple people that you was cool with, but like, man, like this moment's like your wife's got the giggles here. Like you're like, yo, what you laughing at? Like low key, and then you started run them thoughts in your head, like, oh man, what they know, what they said, what they saying about, you know what I mean? So I thought that was like just true to life right there. And I thought it was also funny the line here, it wasn't Cobain, it was just a suicidal gesture, like talking about the Melfi, you know, him taking
him trying to repurpose the
Melfi, like his remixes are crazy, like let's be clear,
crazy. Absolutely. And from that, man, it was so fun. Carmen and Tony are in the bed. I'm sure you love this playful scene. Husband, wife, they get to do that little husband-wife thing. He tickles her. He wants to know what's the deal with what you were laughing about with Uncle June. She spills the beans. Oh, we forgot to say that Meadow was quitting. Meadow let him know that she wanted to quit the soccer.
Oh, yeah. She wanted to get out of there.
And Livia refuses to eat in the house after being talked to like that by Tony.
Mm-hmm. And then again, and then when they were leaving, Uncle Junior, he didn't put his foot down. This is just another symbolism. Like he did. Livia's like, I'm ready to go. Junior, take me home. And Tony was like you ain't
still eating.
Yeah, you should have put your. See, if that was Johnny, he would have been like, I'm eating here. Like Johnny wouldn't have been going nowhere till he finished his food. Like, you know what I mean? Right. But Junior, again, never asserting his real power. Here we are.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Now, Carmelo and Tony in the bed.
Yeah.
She tells him what she heard about Junior being a muff diver. And Tony makes his jokes.
Yeah.
This is a good scene, man. This is probably one of the most cohesive moments with Tony and Carm.
Yeah.
There's no beef. There's no sideways stuff going on. Like we just seen them genuinely as two happily married people. I like that.
I feel like the high school, the friendship aspect of their marriage came out right here.
See why they liked each other.
Yeah, 100%. Perfect point. You can see why they liked each other. But I just thought it was funny. I mean, of course he's making the jokes, but Uncle Junior gives head. Like I didn't realize head. The term head went so far back. I'm sorry. I just don't remember it going that far.
It was the 90s.
I mean, I don't know.
I
30 years ago. What are you talking about, dog?
Like, you're talking about head in the 70s. I think head probably became a phrase at least in the 80s and 70s.
Okay, it just I just don't remember. Like I don't know. Blowjob. I think maybe I was thinking like maybe it was that before it was head.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's it. That's all I
think I've ever used the terminology blowjob.
No, that's not really us. That's not us. That's not us. We can take our vote out of that. But I thought it was funny. Tony does it once a year.
Yes, that's funny.
Try to get that off today.
Want nobody to know.
Right. Like you
her birthday. She's like, oh yeah, sure. I'm gonna tell somebody.
Like that's something to brag about.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Bro.
It is.
That's great. That is.
He probably ain't even. But yeah. Anyway.
All right. Next, Charmaine walks in on Artie. She continues to be the unbearable bitch that we know her to be. She gives him grief about hanging out with the guys. She complains about the TV being given to the coach. Just blah, blah, blah. What'd you get from this? And are you done, tired, over Charmaine Bucco?
She might got Livia. This episode, she got Livia beat hands down because you talk about doing the most, bro. This is, I mean, I already think it's funny, but Charmaine thinks it's embarrassing when she's talking about the guys and how they operate. Like, probably taking the same sentiment as Melfi's ex-husband. But there's a great line. Don't pretend you don't know that Soprano. Don't pretend you don't know what Tony Soprano is capable of. So I don't know what information got revealed or what he had seen when they grew up together as homeboys, but I thought that was a very revealing line. And while you're at it, Charmaine, why don't you talk about his capabilities when he was slapping that one summer? While you at it, since you want to get him grief, tell him about where he slapped. Come on. For real, man.
That's funny. That's funny as hell. From there, anything else from Worse Than Mad Charmaine? I didn't have anything from this other than she just works my nerves.
Just doing the most. Like he's down in the basement. He got the fry cookerware on. I've worked at plenty of fast food restaurants, regular restaurants. I know this feeling when you come home, you smell like grease. You're trying to just immediately get all that off you, and like don't come down here. Like anyway, like I can't even go there. But yeah, I know this feeling too well. Yeah.
Life, yeah. And it shows a good because Tony goes through this. He mob boss already goes through this. Like you said, this is a man-woman thing. This is not like no matter where you are, you're gonna get this. Barack probably get this from Michelle.
Barack.
You know I'm saying it happens.
Yeah.
So, all right, from there, man. Where we at with it?
Chris and the coach
have breakfast. Well, excuse me. Chris goes to knock on the coach's door.
Yep.
And ask him about his dog. We're supposed to understand that they stole the dog. They're giving it back. Now this guy's supposed to be scared.
Yeah.
Are they doing too much? Like this was just is this?
That's why I was. That's what I was saying. I'm like, y'all wait. But
like now, I get the pride of the community, but now you the TV. Now we selling the dog. Like, bro, y'all not. This is gonna make him want to leave. This is not gonna make him want to stick around. I'm on the first thing out of town that night. If this is what's happening to me, I got y'all pulling up at my door.
Well, you got to think they tried two different approaches. We're gonna try to do the nice way. Let's give you a big TV for free. Please stay. Okay, now we're gonna take that didn't work. Let's go the aggressive way and threatening because these guys don't operate with civilians very well. Tony said, when he talked about Melfi, why did you take me in? Most people wouldn't bat an eye looking at me in just regular civilization. So he's normally used to it. So these guys don't know how to really operate. Even Chris says the regularness of life. Like I don't know. So it's like these guys don't know how to take rejection for real. They're normally used to getting things done, especially when they're passionate. I think this was
all the more reason why the coach should be out of there.
Yeah, but
why are you dealing with this, bro? Like, okay, cool. Thank you for bringing my dog back. Absolutely, man. I want to sign a contract for 5 more years. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that you love me. I'm out of town on the next thing smoking that night.
Well, the thing is with the coach, before we get to the big reveal, the block was hot, bro. The block was hot. When
he was in love with the little girl. Like that's we can get to the big reveal.
Yeah, we did the big reveal. It's coming, y'all. If y'all watch the episode, y'all hear, y'all obviously know. But he was in love, but I thought that I don't think he was in love. I just think he was sick. I think that when she cut herself, then it's like, okay, the block is getting hot right now because eventually she gonna start sharing. I need to get out of here. I'm gonna go to Rhode Island, move my family immediately. I think that's more so what it was. Like, yo, the block is hot. I had to move this sickness and operation elsewhere. But Chris, just lastly here at Easter egg, he brought him back his dog, and then he says, "I'm an animal lover."
Yeah. Ting.
Yeah.
We'll know about that later. From there, Tony talks to. Breakfast at the Sopranos. Tony's in a great mood. Meadows acting kind of weird. They're trying to figure out what's going on. She storms off, goes to a room, tells him she doesn't want to play anymore. Tony goes to try to dig in deeper to what's going on. And we get the big reveal about the coach sleeping with Cassie. What's the little Allie? One of those white girl names. Yeah, Allie.
I don't want to wait.
To my life.
There you go. Y'all know where we going with
one
this.
of the girls that sings those songs.
Definitely.
Absolutely. We figure out what's happening here, and you spoke of awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Tony really not knowing how to address this, Metal not knowing how to address this, Carmella not knowing how to address this. Maybe she's mistaken, but you don't really want to say that because you don't want to be insensitive.
Yeah.
But you know it's a child, and you know how teenage girls can be as well as an adult. So you're trying to like figure out like how much of this is hyperbole and did this really happen? So I wasn't really offended that Tony asked her that. I got it. I didn't think that he was doubting what she was saying. He just wanted a full grasp of it to make sure that you're saying what I'm understanding you to say.
Yeah.
And it's not just some teenage high school girl shit, because this is a serious accusation.
Serious. I do want to highlight Carmella. I don't know if you've seen her jumpsuit was super fly. It was some turquoise, very fly.
Yeah, I like the nylon. I used to rock them joints in the 80s, man. I had a lot of them.
Oh, man, you was definitely getting your Eric B. Rakim on right there, man. Vote for
I had a lot of them, bro. Like I used to have like 15 of those suits, man. I loved them, man.
Man, I wish I had those. I did not have that. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. But I think what's dope too, Carmella has we talk about, you know, the certain traits that are bad about people. One of the good traits about Carmella, she's really good about bringing things home for Tony. Like when he gets kind of confused about things, even though she has ulterior motive, he talks about when they were talking about the polio thing, which you hit somebody that has polio, bringing it home like, okay, you're going to hit just any sick person. What if our kid is sick? So right here, her just bringing it home like, Tony, what if that was Meadow? And it clicks. So she's really good about that. And I always appreciate that. Even when she later on about the friends line, like these are not your friends. They work for you basically. Like, you know, she's good about that. So great scene.
Yeah, good. I agree.
And legendary, the thing about the show as we move forward, the thing about the show that makes it great is you're going to keep watching it because when your status of your life changes, you can always come back to Soprano. Like, for example, you don't have children, but if you do so choose to have that and they get a little older, come back, context changes again. So the show, or if you're single and then you get in a relationship, come back to the show, context changes again. So it's always, that's what makes this show so good. The dynamics of when your status change, you can come back to the show and now you can connect with different pieces.
Good point. Very good point. From there, we got Tony. He's down there talking to Sil about the coach. And we know they about to go in. They finna do what they do. Artie walks in and tries to persuade them one way or the other. What did you take from Artie talking to them before he talked to his wife?
Well, Artie, you know, they showing you how the news is developing because he came in, he didn't know the information yet, and then they reveal it to him. But what I thought was funny, these mob guys are so selfish. Seal, he's not even classifying Allie. He's talking about this coach is banging my 16-year-old daughter's soccer teammate. Like him putting his, like everybody is so selfish, bro. Like they really highlight that a lot.
She's not even a person to me.
She's not even a person. It's just like
person to him.
Exactly. So I thought that was funny. Seal he said he about to get the real after school special. Like I'm like, yeah, well, he about to get the afternoon special for real. But I thought it was even more interesting. We can keep it moving, but Artie not understanding the code of the mob and the thing of theirs. He coming in and he says, once he finds out the information, oh, he should die. You're going by civilian standards. You have no idea what it's like to be number one. No, that's why I had to do it. But you have no idea how this thing actually works, bro. You're telling him, oh, because he's a pedophile, he should die based on your code of ethics. Yes. I thought that was weird. But
that's normal, though.
Yeah, that's normal.
You don't think that's normal?
No, I do. I just think that it's funny that because you grew up in the neighborhood, you think, oh, this is a given. I know you guys kill people. Like I know you guys hurt people, rough people up.
It's obvious what you guys should do.
Yeah,
like
it's a layup
right there. Yeah, okay.
But he don't understand the complexities of everything that works with this, especially with the indictments going on.
And especially before Charmaine kind of adds it to him too. She kind of helps him see the civilian perspective of it. Like, you might have been in the rooms with Tony and hanging at the Bing for a little too long, but remember, you are Chef Artie Bucco. Like, you ain't you ain't conspirator to a murder.
Arthur.
So, like, relax. Yeah, relax, Arthur. All right, from there, Mickey and Junior.
Mikey.
Excuse me, Mikey. Excuse me. Mikey tells Junior that he's been telling Tony.
Yeah.
Tells him that he's seeing this Italian broad. No way that he should be this secretive if he wasn't talking to the feds. Junior kind of blows him off because Junior really does know what's going on. Kind of.
Well, he said he's seeing a Russian broad. So he picked up on Irina.
Oh, he was Russian. Oh, yeah. You're talking about Irina. Okay. Gotcha.
But he didn't. He didn't pick up that he was.
He spoke about Melfi too, though, right? Because he said he was going into the doctor's offices. Yeah, he said he was going to the doctor's offices.
But he didn't know what he was going for. Because remember, Seal went in there. But so they obviously have different services that are offered in that office. I imagine, because remember when Seal went in there,
he thinking that he going in that office to meet the feds. That's what Mikey thinks.
Maybe, but he has no idea, like, until.
But
that's why when he was like, yeah, because we'll get there, but like when he was like, he's like, man, I knew it. He's like, no, you didn't. Like, you didn't, bro.
You ain't no shit.
Yeah,
working the wrong thing. Exactly.
So, but yeah.
They go to play golf. Junior talks and Tony. Well, excuse me. Before they get there, Tony is being a chatty patty, not letting Mikey tee off. It irritates Junior. And when Junior's irritated, he goes straight to the heart with Tony, and he talks about his lack of being a great varsity athlete or athlete in general. So he talks about him. He would have caught this ball playing baseball or some shit if you hadn't been talking so much then. Strikes a nerve with Tony. So now Tony has a vendetta, has something to prove, and he dives in on the muff diving and the pussy eating jokes.
Oh man,
what did you take from this?
I don't know if I ever caught this, bro, because we're reviewing this, we're catching everything. But like, he's like, man, let the man tee off. You're worse than 6 barbers. Like, and so we know how they can give it up when you got like talkative barbers. So then, like you said, he said, if you had shut up during that game against Mountain Lakes, you know what I mean? Like, getting so specific, you wouldn't have missed that, fly ball. And
embarrass me in front of my friends.
Like, he really. So then Tony, like, the moment he just kind of, because he already said in the first episode, it's a blow to my self-esteem. When you hurt the self-esteem, bro, he's like, oh yeah, I'm coming for you. I'm
gloves off. Yeah, Tony. Once you offend Tony, you make him mad. You kind of make him feel less than. Gloves are off
because we see that
throwing money at you, calling you a whore.
Yeah,
100%.
Callback crazy. Spike cooking
100%. So from there, they play the golf. Tony teases Junior, and then we go to Artie in the garden with Charmaine, and Charmaine is, putting things into perspective, as you said, of him being a civilian and the expectations of what should happen to this guy versus him hanging with Tony and the expectations of what should happen with the coach.
Yeah. I didn't mention on right before the golf game, that thing that Tony does, like, why he feels the need to sing, like, that is like a arsenal move. The singing a song, if it's a real song or not, but singing a song to really get on your nerve. Because he did it with Junior. He do it later with his sister. And then he also does it with Bobby later down the road. It's that he'll continue to sing the song. Like, I don't know where they came up with that in the writing, but it's
being an irritant.
And I did also.
That's real life stuff, though. You do that in real life, you'll piss somebody off.
Oh, yeah, you sing with it like, oh, you really.
Forget. Yeah, I remember I was in high school, and that Dre 2001 came out. And we were going somewhere, me and 2 of my homeboys, I was driving. And me and my homeboy that was in the front seat, that Nate Dogg song, all the real hoes still kicking with me. All the true gangsters know. Like one and my homeboy that was in the back seat, he wasn't really fucking with it. So we was just being petty. We played the song maybe 30 times in a row, like the whole car trip. And it was one of them things where, like, you know somebody fucking with you, so you don't want to give in and say nothing.
Yeah.
And we was just acting like shit was normal. Like, oh man, that was banging. Run that back, bro. Oh man, run that back again.
Y'all was getting into the lyrics and everything too, what y'all?
Yeah, acting like, man, you hear that? Let's start it over again. And he's just sitting in the back, not saying nothing but stewing.
Oh,
man. So yeah,
that really does work.
I know the song will really do it. It worked, boy. That'll work for you every time.
And who do you? And you're a golfer. Which outfit could you see yourself wearing between them four? Seal, Junior, Mikey, or Junior? I mean, or Tony. Tony had the purple.
Seal. Well, excuse me, Tony. Tony, I like Tony's.
The purple silk
Tony
a little bit.
One bad. Yeah.
Mikey got that kind of like that real PGA Tour look to it, but okay. That's all I had. Sorry. But the garden with Artie and Charmaine.
Yeah, and Seal hat was all right.
It was all right, yeah.
Seal had all right.
It was a little putt though.
Yeah, I would be more. Yeah, it was a little much.
Yeah.
But Tony, I liked the little setup. Yeah, he looked real golfy.
Yeah.
All right. From there, man, like you said, we out in the garden with Charmaine. She puts things into perspective for him. This is probably one of the few valuable moments that Charmaine has in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it that she encourages. She just encourages him. Like it's that what's your favorite movie that The Working Man's a sucker. I feel like this is kind of
sucker.
So, but like this is that trope was like, nah, I ain't no sucker. Like how Robert De Niro was. It's like, no, she actually looked at him like, no, it takes balls to do it the way you're doing it.
Do the right thing,
legit to be corporate. Like even here, just him having his own garden. Like they couldn't do that. Couldn't plant no garden. Like, so I just like that part of it. That was cool. They try to give her some redeemability here. It's still not because of her presentation, but I get the gist.
Yeah, agree. From there, Mikey and Junior in the locker room. Junior's frustrated about the round. They're going back and forth. Junior's pissed that it's came out that he's muff diving. So pissed that he admits that Tony is seeing a psychiatrist to Mikey. Knows there's no coming back from that, and almost pretty much authorizes the hit on Tony.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you surprised at this?
I mean, first few times
this escalated quickly. Well, we're talking about joking to eating pussy to like, I'm gonna kill him because I think he's snitching now.
Well, he kept
because he had. There's no new information that Junior got for him to be like, all right, let's kill him. Other than he's making fun of me for eating pussy.
Right. Well, I mean, he said something about I can't keep making excuses for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, new information is revealed, so you're not really making an excuse for this moment. However, you're taking it personal, and so you feel the need to do this because your feelings are hurt. This is a weird place to call a hit on your nephew. What?
I was gonna say this goes back to what I say earlier, and you speaking of redeemable qualities. The reason that this is so offensive to Junior is because how serious Junior takes this.
Okay.
You don't joke on the boss. I'm not the butt of the jokes, bro. It's not supposed to happen this way. You may know it and you may do it when I'm not around, but like you said, and he said this to Mikey, I can't keep making excuses for him.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that has changed is the lack of respect that he thinks that Tony has for him. And to Junior, that's good enough. It wasn't a psychiatrist. It's like Junior takes this shit. And again, that's what I like about Junior. Junior take this shit so serious.
Yeah, he old school.
Like you're not supposed to, don't disrespect the boss, bro. What are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you acting like that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what offended Junior. So I really do like that. Like you said, it's very minor, it's petty, and you would think it's just because of the eating pussy, but it's more on the sense of you're disrespecting me. Not only are you disrespecting me, you're doing it in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that.
You are gassing it crazy. He is the boss. You're right. You're like, I mean, when you put it that way.
I'm gassing it.
No, I'm saying not you. No, not you.
That's how you were so offended. Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm saying he gassing it a little bit, like, but I mean, you see how he dealt with, you know what I mean, Christopher's friend,
and
Brendan.
Mikey pissed him off. Mikey was like, what was that? it really makes you mad when you irritated already.
Because you don't want to relive
what
it.
happened?
You making me relive
bro,
it by
shut
telling
the fuck
you.
up. Don't ask me what happened, nigga.
Don't worry
get out
about
of my
it.
face.
Don't make me relive it. Just know he out of pocket. Like, don't ask me to what happened.
I hate
what happened?
that.
Oh man,
What happened, bro? Nigga, shut up.
Man, I'm giving you the
Ask me
fast
shit.
forward version. Like, come on.
I ain't
That's
giving
funny.
you no version. Nigga,
Mikey's hilarious, man.
You was there. You seen it. Mikey is hilarious. This is a good Mikey episode. It was a good Mikey episode, man. All right, from there, Tony and Melfi talk about the coach. He gets frustrated. And this is the good question that we talked about earlier in the episode. What's that?
Oh, man, I missed some key right here. Junior, here's what kind of backs up to even reconfirm it even more. He tells his story about these kids that whacked their parents. And the psychiatrist testified.
The twins.
So when he made that point, I was like, ooh, that was a bar right there. Because at that point, the psychiatrist could reveal the doctor-patient confidentiality at that point because there's motive, I guess. I'm assuming based on that story. He's like, you remember them two kids that whacked their parents? I was like, so when I forgot about that line. Yeah, that right there, that to me kind of solidified like, okay, I may have to do this because if not, then he's going to end up taking us all down.
Because he really believes that Tony's psychiatrist could tell.
Yeah.
Get bullshit. For Junior, not from you. Good point of him saying that, but it was bullshit to him. Melfi asked Tony during the next session, why does punishing this man fall on you? Great question. This can apply to Tony throughout the series in several different scenarios. What do you think about the way Tony handled this?
Tony wants to be liked. If we want to just try to figure out why, maybe that'll change as we continue down the road on this series. But Tony wants to be liked. He wants to be held in a certain way. So if he wants to take initiative, we see that's a big thing. We'll get some of the stories like that later down the road. Ralphie tells his story as well. Like initiative is a huge thing on your come up, and he looks at the Dickie Moltisantis and the Johnny Sopranos, Junior Sopranos. So he looks at them OGs, and so he naturally has the makings of a varsity athlete in regards to being a boss. He takes it personal because I think that he wants the credit. He wants to be acknowledged and looked that way. We talked about Christopher being his heir. He needs an heir he wants to do all of the things he felt. And even say that I'm doing bigger things than my dad was. So I think he takes things personal and feel the need. I have to solve it because I feel like I'm that guy. Also, I'm narcissistic, which all of these mob guys are. It's sociopath as well, but I think when you talk about the Anthony side of Tony, I think that's the thinking. The Tony side is obviously the sociopath, psychopath, stuff of that nature. But why do you think that he feels he needs to? Is it just that to you, or?
Yeah, ego, narcissism, like you said.
Okay.
I gotta be the guy. Nobody's gonna do it if I don't. And if they do, like, what are y'all gonna do? Like, I'm just gonna lock him up. I'm gonna slap him on the wrist. He's gonna go do some judge. Like Tony, not only does him handling it saying to how he feels about himself, but how he feels about the system. Like, y'all ain't gonna do shit. My system is the best way. Like doing what I do is the best way. So
yeah,
I think that spoke a lot to that.
Okay.
All right. Next, we have Artie visiting the Bing. He tries to talk Tony out of the hit, using some of the same talking points that Dr. Melfi used. Tony didn't take it as lightly as he took it with Melfi. Cusses Artie out. They go back and forth. Did you think at this point that Tony would listen to Artie, or did you think that he had his mind made up?
I definitely, in the original watch, definitely didn't think so. But Artie's way out of pocket, bro. You way out of pocket, dog. Like, first off, you shouldn't even be at the back of the Bing. Like, that should have been established. Like, we tight, but this is where we conduct business. Like, we would count the bag right now. You want to meet? We'll meet out in the bar where the girls are dancing. Don't come back here, bro. This is mob business.
Stop it, bro. This is his best friend. Stop it.
Yeah, but you know what time it is. Like, you can't. You got to set boundaries. I'm trying to protect you. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so he comes here. I'm telling you, don't do it. And I made a meme on this too, but I love it. Like, let me ask you a question. Who do you think you are coming in here talking to me like this? bruh, I love that line. Like, I was like, who do you think you are talking to me like this? And he's right, even though I know you're my best friend, but hold up, nigga, like you are out of pocket. You're telling me I should kill somebody. Now you're telling me don't do it. You can't do it. And now you're going to try to chastise me for this. Back up, bruh. I didn't think Tony was going to do it, but I definitely think that it prevailed. But I think he was out of pocket still coming to the back of the knee. What about you?
I appreciate Artie being a good friend right here.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that this isn't worth it. The heat it could bring. He really don't know the heat that it could bring on Tony because he just think it's another day at the office for what they do. But I do like that he tried. I do like that he took the information from his wife. He processed it. He's like, well, you know what? You're right. I ain't got too much pride to go tell my friend that he may be making a bad decision. I like that. I like that Artie had the balls to do that. But I also like Tony's response. Like, nigga, get the fuck out of my face. Like, you're not even about this life or this world. Like, he was just talking, like, shut up talking to me. But I do really, really respect the fact that Artie looked at Tony as a good enough friend where he felt like that I could bring this to you. Like, you're gonna make a mistake, bro. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because nobody else really could tell Tony, like, other than Melfi, and she's paid to do so.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Genuinely having feelings.
Maybe
like
Carmella?
Nobody else could do that. So I did.
I feel like she's the only other person.
I don't think that she would even be as like I don't think that Carmella would like to think that Tony would do that. She would like to think, oh, to get handled by somebody like Seal or somebody like Tony ain't got nothing to do with it or may not have. I don't know anything about it. She would like to think that. So she wouldn't even address it, I think.
Okay.
So from there, Junior goes to visit his little thing again, berates her about running her mouth, mushes her with the pie, ends it, tells her to get her shit and get out. She's distraught. What'd you take from Junior losing his little I mean?
She bought him some barbecue chicken and some salad and some lemon meringue pie, right? So she knew. So what we're led to believe here is she still said the information after they cut the camera. Is that what we should believe here? Because she almost like she looks at him, could tell he's mad right away, unless he was.
Or even from the previous conversations that the lady had, because the lady pretty much had so much information anyway. So yeah, even if it wasn't her saying something at that particular time, I feel like she already had enough information that was running her mouth to where it was gonna come out eventually.
Yeah, I think it's interesting here where Junior. He said, didn't I tell you keep your mouth shut? Didn't I tell you keep your damn mouth shut? Like, he pulls the fist up, but I don't think he ever was going to hit her. I think he came up in that era. I imagine you seen mob guys slap their wives around back in that day in the 60s, 70s. He definitely saw people slap their women around in that time when it was just different, where it wasn't right, but that was just how it was. But I don't think he's that type of dude. He don't even have that type of force and authority in his own.
Junior ain't got that, yeah.
So he's, grabbed the pie, which is obviously super funny.
That's really, right up the line what I would feel like he would do, mush her with a pie. That was perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect.
That was perfect for Junior Soprano.
Yeah, because you blabbermouth like cunt. And then he says, get your pencils. Like, dude. Like, yeah.
Mr. Magoo was pissed, man.
Yeah, and I mean, but let me ask: is he right to break up with Roberta if he knowing he ain't got nothing else going on?
Man.
Okay, that's what I was about to say.
You should look over there. Yeah, old ass nigga. You not even care. But again,
I mean, because it's already out now. I mean,
yeah, but again, he's so immersed in this reputation. Yeah, they whole lifestyle is reputation.
It's difference of generation. Yeah, right.
Yes, 100%, 100%. Okay. From there, Tony calls it off, man. He's sitting there contemplating. He's looking at the phone. He's calling it off.
Great scene.
My question to you, great scene. Did you think that it was Meadow that called the police? Did Tony do it? Was it Artie? Who called the police on the coach, you think?
Great question.
Because they never really said. If you had to guess, who would you think it was?
Georgie. Nah, Georgie ain't bright enough.
Why?
Well, he's at the Bing.
I was gonna say, where do you get that from?
Well, he's at the Bing. So he's at the Bing.
You saying Tony told him to make the call?
Yeah, make the call. Because I don't think Tony, from where he stands, like, I'll talk to a therapist, but I ain't about to call no police on somebody.
Tony didn't call. I think it was Meadow.
Nah, but
Yeah, I
I feel
think
like,
Meadow did it.
but I don't. But it's the immediate, like the
I think that's
immediateness.
why we get the last scene of her staring and
See, I
him
think.
going through those emotions,
Mm-hmm. See, but I think that's a different
and then him saying,
interpretation.
"I didn't hurt anybody."
Yeah, because I think that he made the decision. He didn't make the decision to let dude walk. He wasn't gonna never let that happen. He's gonna do something because Tony Soprano has to. Why does he have to? Because that's who he is. I don't think Meadow did that because Meadow wasn't. I think the look was, I don't know what's gonna happen. Then I see my dad drunk and he's saying this and that. Okay, so my dad, I know he's in the mafia, but he does have a heart, or he is still my dad. You know, so that's that internal battle I feel like she has. You know, my dad is this or my dad is that. I don't know
That's why I
who
love this
called it.
show,
Yeah, because you
because
always.
I completely, well, there's just different interpretations of things, like the ending when we get to that. But my
Mhm.
interpretation of this was Meadow called them. Meadow called them to one, protect her dad, because again, we spent a lot of episodes with, does she know what I do? Does she does it? Then we
Mhm.
finally came to the conclusion that she does. She knows you're in the mafia. She knows because when she she knows you're in the mafia, and she knows how upset you are about this from when she told you. She
Mhm.
said, "Oh man, what did I do?"
What did I
When
do?
Tony
Okay.
stormed out angrily, right? So I
Mhm.
think that she called the police, thinking that she would be able to curtail whatever Tony was gonna do. She
Mhm.
didn't know Tony was going to call it off. She didn't know about anything with Artie. She just felt like this would be the best thing to help her friend
Mhm.
and also help her dad, who may go do something stupid because he's in the mafia,
Mhm.
which is why we see her observing him come in drunk, doing all the dancing. She's like, oh, God, did it work? You see him on the news. Oh, he did work. Is he mad at me that he didn't get to kill him? No, he's actually happy.
Mhm.
He's actually happy and says, Carm, I didn't have to hurt anybody.
Mhm.
You know, the drugs or whatnot may have been talking, but I do feel like that this was a play on, like, Meadows, the moral compass of this show, is family. She's the one in the law, for Christ's sakes.
Mhm.
She's the one I feel like that leans more right than anyone. And I feel like that this was her exerting her will over the Soprano family,
See, I
making the
don't.
call to the
I
police.
think. I think that's a. I think the way you put it, that's a great alternative to what I think. I don't think she did that. I think that she wouldn't call the police because Meadow is not that gun ho. Her character, even at this young age, she's not that gun ho about, like, she knows her dad's in the mafia. She goes last time, but now know the this and that for, you know, all these people that are in the mafia, but she never gonna call. Even when she told AJ, hey, the police is coming, you better erase that porn off your computer. Like, she's smart enough to know, it's like, dad is going through indictments, or you going through something. We seen the news. We seen Brendan, because she did see Brendan, so she know we seen him on the news, so we know, okay. I don't think she would have brought that type of heat to the family. I think at that young age, I don't think she's bold enough to call the police. She's a junior. I think her wheelhouse and power is, I got enough power to quit the team. I got enough power to tell my parents, but I'm not at that level to call the police. I don't think she's that
Mm.
bold, not at this stage. That's why I think that Tony might have, even if he knew a civilian or knew somebody, whatever. I'm just gonna throw Georgie. I'm just gonna say Georgie. Have him call the police or whatever, give him the info, or even if it was Seal, anybody would take his order if he tell him to. So that's my interpretation. But y'all are welcome to chime in and let us know for sure, because it's very open ended, and I think both theories really
Absolutely.
work.
It is. Let us know what you think on the Good Earners IG page.
Mm-hmm.
Send us some emails. Interact with the show, man. Comment on the videos. Mo, before we get out of here, we got some categories to cover.
Yes, we do. First off, the award of the show, is it a made episode, untouchable, top tier? Is it good earner, which is it's pretty good, or is it just another envelope? It was cool.
This is just another envelope episode for me.
Okay.
It was cool. Mm-hmm.
I think
It was
for
some
me,
good, funny moments, but
yeah.
what The Sopranos is to me, this episode isn't that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Sopranos adjacent,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of
It
soap
didn't
opera
quite
things, like you
curl
said.
over.
Yeah, it didn't quite curl over. It didn't give me that Luther big boy curl.
Okay.
It was little Luther.
It was a good earner to me. I thought it was pretty good. It gave me enough of, because they're doing this thing throughout. They're leaning back and forth between the families. Now they found out once they did fully dedicated mafia episode, fully dedicated family episode. Now they can keep leaning back and forth. So most times when they do that really well for me, it's gonna probably at least be a good earner. Now it could be exceptional later down the road, but okay. Who gets the good earner award, the MVP of this episode for you, Spike?
Arthur Bucco.
Yeah.
Artie did a great job, man. Yeah, Artie stood on his own.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't buckle when Tony was trying to get him to join a criminal enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Could have stood up to Shemaine a little bit more for me, but hey, happy wife, happy life. If he likes it, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked Tony out of, killing the coach. So
That's
I feel like
huge.
he was the voice of reason throughout the episode.
Yeah.
Who'd you have?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with you. I mean, obviously it could be Tony because it could be Tony clearly, but I'm gonna go with Artie. I'm gonna go with Artie too. I don't know how many good earner awards he gonna get, but I'm gonna give Artie that good earner one this week, man.
He earned this one.
Definitely did. Broken balls. Who took the biggest L?
The biggest L of this episode is Junior Corrado Soprano. He's known around town as a munch now.
Yeah.
He had to cut off his little
Yeah.
He got to kill his nephew allegedly. Like, it's just, this was a tough episode for Junior, man.
Mm-hmm.
Funny, but tough.
It's really hard. In Junior, he could be that, but I feel like Roberta, really, or the coach. So I'm kind of back and forth. I guess I had to go with the coach because I go with the coach. Prison, you can't. That's the biggest L. Like, period. Like, you had a whole suburban family, now you're in prison, and they definitely gonna get you together in that behind them bars, bro.
Fucking little girls.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Lastly, your favorite moment, flyest moment, funniest moment. You could pick one of them, or you could say something for each of them.
My favorite moment of the episode. It's the dinner. It's the dinner scene. Carmela did a great job, and
yeah,
I don't get to go down much. That's not what I heard, and then like giggle, laugh. That was great.
Yeah.
Facts. The flyest moment, the guys playing golf because I'm a golf. I like that.
Okay.
And what was the last one?
Funniest, or was that your funny or your favorite?
The table. Yeah.
Oh, so you know your
funny and favorite were the same.
Okay.
What'd you have?
Flyest moment. I do like Junior dancing with it, Roberta. Like, I thought that was fly. It looked fly. I don't know where they shot it, but it looked fly. Dancing at night, with Jamin, like you said. Funniest moment, probably the OJ line. I think that OJ line. What's a big cut? OJ running away with a tracksuit. Either that or the seal, on the field kicking up grass because he couldn't hurt the referee. And my favorite moment definitely is, the end. It's open-ended, and I remember watching the show, and my heart was just really there for Tony. Like, at this point, I'm like, I am invested in this guy because it took a lot for him not to do what his normal nature was, so that's definitely my favorite moment. But yeah, this has been another episode of Good Earners reviewing The Sopranos, Boca. If y'all want to get in contact with us, man, y'all can email us goodearnerpod@gmail.com. Also, get your meme fix every day of the week. Good Earner Pod. Good Earner Pod on IG. You can find us on there. DM us for the show. Y'all can find us on YouTube, man. See our faces, see the visuals, man. We everywhere. So y'all just chime in, support, and don't forget about it.
Forget about it. We out.